City of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, the issuer, pursuant to the General Bond Ordinance, prescribing the form of said bonds, providing for fixing the maturities of and interest rates on said bonds, providing for the payment of said bonds, and the application of the proceeds thereof, approving the preliminary official statement in connection therewith, providing for the acceptance of an offer to purchase said bonds, and providing for other matters in connection therewith.
Motion by Councilwoman Liz Hebert, second by Councilwoman Annette Cook. Council discussion? Seeing none. Blue cards. Call the roll, please.
Yes. District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 3? District 4?
Yes.
District 5? The motion to adopt is approved. Ordinance 191, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government to sell 6 surplus circuit breakers which are no longer needed for public purposes to Worldwide Electric Salvage Incorporated for a total bid price of $7,595 as per the attached list circuit breakers.
Okay, need a motion in a second. So moved by Councilwoman Annette Cook. And I got a second by Councilman Lewis. Any council discussion? Seeing none, any blue cards? Call the roll.
District 9? District 1?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5? District 7? District 8? The motion to adopt is approved.
What a 5-person council looks like.
Ordinance 192, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government to sell 10 surplus transformers which are no longer needed for public purposes to AMS Group, LLC for a total bid price of $157,770 as per the attached list transformers.
Motion by Councilman Boudreaux, second by Councilwoman Annette Cook. Any council discussion? Seeing none. Purple cards? Okay.
District 1?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5? District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9? The motion to adopt is approved. Ordinance 193, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council providing for the abandonment of a portion of the right-of-way of Mildred Street and Cherry Street and the granting of utility easements and cross-access easements on the property of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, located in the 200 block of Mildred Street and the 400 block of Cherry Street.
Need a motion and a second? Motion by Councilwoman Liz Hebert and a second by Councilman Lewis. Any council discussion? Not seeing none. Any blue cards?
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9? District 1?
Yes.
The motion to adopt is approved. Ordinance 194, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1819 operating and capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by reducing use of a prior year fund balance in the Drainage Maintenance Fund in the amount of $30,550.75, closing the Marie de Khan's project by canceling the intergovernmental agreement and reimbursing the city of Scott $30,550.75.
Okay. A motion? Motion. Councilman Bellard with a motion. Second by Councilwoman Cook. Council discussion. I got a question. Are we giving, Ms. Toops, is this money being reimbursed back to the city of Scott because we have never completed that project in the history?
I will have to defer to Public Works on the completion of the project, but I do know that this is money that the city of Scott gave us to coordinate with this project, and they recently reached out and asked us to refund the unspent balance.
Is that because we didn't even do our, did we do something for them?
I wasn't truly prepared to research. I didn't research this. The way the project was described to me is that it was initiated
I saw a map that long time ago there was a big
It
plan
it
for
started
Maury
in
to come.
2008, I think, was the original
It was million.
project.
It was a big project.
Well, it was potentially a big project.
Right.
And this money was more or less seed money to start the process. And in the process, they determined that the project wasn't really feasible. It wasn't going to accomplish anything of the magnitude that they were going to need to spend on the project.
Okay.
This came to me as basically a dead project.
It had no legs, it was dead.
It's
City
been
of
dead
Scott
for
needs
many
it,
years.
Wants their money back. How
And
long
it's-
have we been holding on to that?
We've been holding on to it for a few years. When they requested a refund because the original project was approved through an ordinance, I thought the refund needed to come back to you in the form of an ordinance.
Yeah, 2008. Yeah. Did they charge us interest for holding on to it that long?
No, sir.
Oh, good thing. All right, that's all I needed to know. I just wanted to make sure. Now, talking with the mayor and their council, if there's a project that this money could be used somewhere else, if they would agree to.
The money's Scott's.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Okay.
And so they can do with it as they wish.
That's what I needed to confirm.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right. Thank you, Ms. Toops, for the explanation. All right. Any blue cards? Yes, sir. Call the roll.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
Yes.
District 9.
Yes.
District 1.
Yes.
District 3. The motion to adopt is approved. Ordinance 195, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government Code of Ordinances, Chapter 26, Article 11, Flood Damage Prevention, to adopt a scientific and engineering report entitled The Flood Insurance Study for Lafayette Parish, Louisiana, and Flood Insurance Rate Maps, dated December 21st, 2018, and any revisions thereto, as the basis of establishing flood hazard areas and the addition of other floodplain management regulations, including the establishment of penalties for failure to comply with the provisions of this division and other standards related to floodplain management.
Motion by Councilman Bellord, second by Councilman Boudreaux. Any council discussion? Councilman Terrio, you have the floor, sir.
Here who can just briefly answer a quick question on this? Is it you, Mr. Dubrock, or anybody from floodplain? I see you pointing fingers. Somebody doesn't want to come up. There you go. Stephanie, I know. If you don't mind, Stephanie, give those maybe listening and watching information on how they can address this, if they have any concerns as to how they've been designated, one or another, and the time frame, because they can't do anything, I think, until December. Is that correct?
That's correct.
If you can
yes.
touch base on that, please, for the public.
So basically tonight is just to formally adopt the maps. They don't go into effect until December 21st for insurance purposes. As far as if someone wants to contest or appeal, they have to do it through a letter of map amendment process through FEMA, and they can't do that until December 21st.
Very
So,
much.
Yep.
That's all we needed. We did. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, we have one other question for you. Trying to run too fast.
And could you say your name for the official record?
Stephanie Weeks, I'm the floodplain administrator for development and planning.
We spoke the other day with Mr. Hilaire Trahan.
Yep.
You were very professional, and I commend you for that. Thank you for your time. You
Thank
helped
you.
me out.
Thank you.
Councilman Bellord.
I'm trying to get away from y'all.
Real
Yeah.
quick, these maps weren't created by this council or this government. Can you just,
What?
because I know we're going to hear all kind of phone calls and
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's already on Lunsford's
They were initially released by FEMA back in 2007. Lafayette disagreed with some of the findings, the initial findings, and decided to appeal. That's what took so long. So it's a joint effort, I would say. But for the most part, they come down from FEMA.
Okay, thank you. That's
Yeah.
all I have.
Anybody else before I run?
Run,
Don't
run,
run, don't
run.
run.
All right.
We good. Thank you for that question, Councilman Bellord, because you're right. So many people think we create the maps and the government does this, so it's a good question. All right, I'm done right here with this segment, so I'm gonna go ahead and call a vote.
District 5.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
Yes.
District 9. District 1.
Yes.
District 3. District 4. The motion to adopt is approved.
right, we're going to move to announcements of vacancies on boards and commissions. Cindy, can you please read the vacancies?
Due to resignation, a vacancy currently exists on the Planning and Zoning Commission for the remainder of an unexpired 5-year term through May 31st, 2019. Applicants must be a resident of the City of Lafayette. Due to expiration, a vacancy will exist on the Keep Lafayette Beautiful Committee for a 2-year term effective December 1st, 2018. Due to expiration, a vacancy will exist on the Lafayette Convention and Visitors Commission for a 4-year term effective January 1st, 2019. Applicants must be a minority as defined by Louisiana Revised Statute 382233.2. Individuals wishing to submit a resume for the above volunteer vacancies must be a registered voter and a resident of Lafayette Parish. Yearly ethics training for all appointees is required, as is financial disclosure under certain circumstances. Resumes are to be forwarded to Veronica L. Williams, Clerk of the Council, P.O. Box 4017-C, Lafayette, Louisiana 70502, or email to bclafayette@lafayette.la.gov no later than noon, Tuesday, November 20th, with appointments to be made on December 4th, 2018.
All right, now we'll move to consider appointment by the council as a whole to boards and commissions. Can you please read the appointment?
Appointment to the Lafayette Performing Arts Center and Frem F. Bustani Convention Center Board for a 4-year term effective December 1st, 2018.
All right, I'd like to announce that the resumes received for consideration are from Stuart R. Brew and Sarah Gauthier Roy. At this time, I will take nominations. We have a nomination by Councilman Boudreau for Mr. Brew. Is there any other nominations? And there is.
The other one, Roy.
Oh, okay.
There's only 2.
Okay.
I'll do the other one.
Ms. Sarah Roy has been nominated as well, so we'll need to call the vote for Brew or Roy. Any council discussion? Good. Blue cards?
No, sir.
District 7, District 8, District 9, District 1,
Brew.
District 3, District 4, District 5,
What happened? I guess we're bringing it back because I don't see nobody else talking. We got a 4-3. Mr. Boudreau has a motion on the floor to defer until we have a full council. And get a second? Second by Councilman Lewis. Even though I don't need it, I just want to say it. Sounds good.
So we're deferred until November 20th council meeting for reconsideration.
Yes. I'm sorry, you sat here all night. Okay. Just for the record, that is being deferred until what meeting?
November 20th.
November 20th. Same time, same place. Same council. 2 more members might be here. All right. Gotta have fun at a council meeting, guys. Appointments by council members, mayor, president, and our other direct appointing authority. Please read, please.
Kevin Knockan, District 1, appointed Dr. Renee Poirier to the Lafayette Animal Care Center Advisory Board for a 4-year term effective March 1st, 2018. Liz Aber, District 8, appointed Matt Hewlin to the Lafayette City Parish Recreation Advisory Commission for a 4-year term effective October 1st, 2018.
All right, we're going to move to introductory ordinances. Just to remind everyone, item 31 has been pulled from the global list by Councilman Lewis. So I need a motion and a second from the council to consider introducing the other ordinances in global. Items 20 through 30, 32 to 37. Motion by Councilman Bellard. Second by Councilman Lewis. Please call the vote on the in global.
She has to read the global ordinance.
Oh, okay.
You're really trying to get us out of here.
Ordinance 197, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1819 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $50,000 from the Oak Lawn Park Improvements Project to the Charlevoix Park Improvements Project in the Parks and Recreation Department for additional funding needed. Ordinance 198, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1819 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $35,000 from the Brown Park Parking Lot Project walking path in the Parks and Recreation Department for additional funding needed. Ordinance 199, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Unified Development Code so as to reclassify the property of Claude Patin, case number ZON 2018-0025, 3906 Moss Street rezoning, located generally east of Moss Street, north of Claus Lane, and south of Maryview Farm Road, and the particular parcel being rezoned from commercial mixed to commercial heavy. Ordinance 201, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council declaring the Brown Park Sewer Lift Station upgrade and forced main installation project a public necessity and authorizing the acquisition of the necessary land, servitudes, easements, rights-of-way, and other property rights on an amicable basis or through the use of the expropriation process if necessary. Ordinance 102, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council providing for the abandonment of a 5-foot utility servitude and a sewage treatment plant easement on the property of the Miles Thomas located on lots 1A and 2A of Vermilion Bluff subdivision. Ordinance 203, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council providing for the abandonment of the right-of-way of Blue Boulevard and Terminal Drive and the abandonment of a portion of the right-of-way for John Glenn Drive on the property of the Lafayette Airport Commission. Ordinance 204, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1819 operating budget and manning table of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing the use of the City General Fund prior year fund balance by $8,427 to appropriate within the promotions cost account of the Lafayette Fire Department to allow for the Fire Department Records Clerk Level 2 promotions. Ordinance 205, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette Mayor President to enter into an intergovernmental agreement between the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government and the City of Scott concerning the maintenance of Cooley-Ildicon, Lateral 8B, and other channels. Ordinance 206, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing participation in the filing of a collaborative grant application with the Advancing Cities Challenge Grant Program.
All right, at this time, we'll go ahead, any council discussion on these? Seeing none, any blue cards on the items in Global?
No, sir.
All right, please call the vote.
District 8? Yes. District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 3? District 4? District 5?
Yes.
District 7? Yes. The motion to introduce is approved.
Okay. All right, at this time right now, we'll go ahead and pull up item number 31. Can you please read?
Ordinance 200, 2018, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council approving a conditional use permit to allow a bar lounge in a downtown zoning district, case number ZON 2018-0026, 402 and 406 Garfield Street, conditional use permit, located generally on the southern corner of Lee Avenue and Garfield Street.
I need a motion in a second. Motion by Councilman Lewis. Second by Councilman Boudreaux. Any council discussion? Seeing none. Public comment, please. Okay, we have a question. Councilman Boudreaux.
This is for legal. I just want to be clear. Did this go before BOZA, or is this a zoning commission issue? Okay, so there needs to be some clarity made by someone to someone. I think there are a lot of people who think that this is a BOZA issue. Correct me if I'm wrong. BOZA decisions go to the district court. They are not appealed to the city parish council, correct? Correct. Okay, but the fact that this is a zoning commission issue, it's why it's coming here.
Zoning commission recommendations come to this council.
Come to this, that's what I thought, okay. In some of the phone calls and emails and other discussions, I think there were many people under the assumption
They
that
were
this was
referring to BOZA, yeah.
it was a BOZA matter, and I felt it was necessary to clarify that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, public comment, any cards?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we had 7 citizens who did not wish to speak, who signed in opposition to the ordinance. We do have 5 citizens who signed in who do wish to speak. The first of which is Barry Salinger, and he will be followed by David Robichaud.
Just state your name for the official record.
Good evening, Barry Salinger, 223 Garfield, Lafayette, Louisiana, 70501. And Mr. Boudreau is my misclarification relative to... Okay. It's an honor to be at this podium, and I chose it specifically because as a lawyer, we are all a suspicious bunch. Andy Hebert was here, and for the first time in history, I feel like I could be on the same side as Andy. So I feel that's special, although in this time I'm speaking in opposition. I've been a lawyer for about 40 years. I've worked on dozens of campaigns. I've never worked on my own until this one.
You're running for office?
No.
Oh.
The campaign here is to oppose something that is a fundamental right to residents in the area where this variance is sought. And I thought this was my campaign because I am a resident, I'm a business owner, I am a property owner within a couple of 100 feet of this desired change. And my campaign was to go out and get outside of my comfort zone. I had no problem doing it when someone ran for office. But when it came for myself, I'm not good at fighting that. But then I realized when I hit the first door that it wasn't my fight. There are, I can tell you, because the petitions that I collected and submitted to zoning, I collected 60% myself. This wasn't an electronic medium submission. It wasn't Facebook. This was face-to-face. I went from businesses like Don's, who's been in the location for 75 years, and Mr. Landry was here. He had to leave because he had to close a business. Thank God he can close it for the evening. Mr. Poirier, who's right across the street, who moved in to establish a new business. There are art dealers, dance studios. There are people living on Clinton. There's a medical supply place on Johnston. There's a 24-hour phone service answering on Johnston next to it. There are disabled people, all various diverse backgrounds. And everyone I spoke to said, this is not the place. Why is that? They made a commitment to live in that area of downtown, which is primarily residential, to have business locations, some out of their homes, some on larger footprints like Mr. Landry and Mr. Poirier. But the misconception that I think is really, really important is this is a bar. Don't kid yourself if there's a suggestion that this is something else, it's a microbrewery. This is a variance. It's not a right. Every one of the 90 or so that signed the petitions that were personally supervised by me, Mr. Landry, and Mr. Poirier, they have stake in this game. I've talked to dozens on top. They all say, this is a neat concept, but this is not the place. There are many other opportunities, many other places. Mr. Nakant, you stole my heart when you talked about ROI. We don't think about that in this world. And I'm telling you as a citizen of Mr. Lewis's district, you're not making a good return on investment if you say yes to this. Why? Because when police come, and when fire come, and when sound comes, and when litter abatement comes, Mr. Boudreaux, you got money for us? Mr. Bellard, we need some more money. I'm telling you as a private citizen, don't let it happen. You're going to be here picking up the tab. And I didn't see any of the ordinances here where people were coming here to give you money. They wanted to take it from you. I'm saying, keep it. Just make a wise choice, because the vast majority of people who have skin in the game said no. Keep it. One final thing. DDA is here. Mr. Mott's here. There's an easy mistake that could be made to say, this is a downtown problem. Y'all fix it. He ain't here to fix it. Treat us, members of Mr. Lewis's district, specifically downtown, just like any member of your district. You have a how-to kit for them to get started? Do you have to help them through the process to offer assistance? No. We're not asking for that either, because DDA is not set up for that. The zoning board has made a decision. It took all the evidence, it heard people, it made a decision. What we're asking you today is do something very uncommon in today's world.
Gotcha.
Just say no. Thank you.
Okay.
Next speaker is David Robichaux, followed by Keith Poirier.
Thank you. My name's David Robichaux. I'm an architect here in Lafayette with Parish Architecture. We believe this is the wrong location. And even though it's a downtown district, the downtown district is not just one entity. It's multiple entities. And we believe that this residential area doesn't deserve to have a use which is probably much more appropriate in other areas of the downtown district. The permit in question is in an area of downtown district containing mostly single-family residences. Other locations in downtown district would be more appropriate. Venue that offers amplified music for a bar, tavern use. The property historically has been a single-family residence, with the most recent change of occupancy to a reception hall. It's wood frame construction of walls and floors on piers, and multiple windows which will not attenuate sound from amplified music. The amplified music will not be adequately excessive sound reaching neighbors, creating a serious hazard to the public health, welfare, safety, and quality of life. In addition, the large courtyard anticipated could provide a venue for amplified sound with no sound attenuation, while other venues in the downtown district do providing amplified music are usually constructed of masonry construction with concrete floors providing high sound attenuation. It's just the wrong structure to house this venue. The noise control ordinance allows up to 12 variances per year per street address, with each variance lasting up to 5 days. Since this facility is situated on 2 street addresses, this operator or subsequent operators could legally exceed the noise control ordinances without limit for 120 days each year. The operator may not intend to operate the bar tavern as a full-fledged music venue, but once the property is allowed the condition use for bar tavern use, a subsequent operator could establish a bar musical venue that is problematic for the continuing quality life for the surrounding residents. The application indicates an estimated building capacity of 120 occupants. My interpretation of International Building Code and National Fire Protection Association codes, based on over 30 years of experience is that the Codes Division and State Fire Marshal's Office will conclude that the occupant load will be between 230 and 300 occupants, based on a bar tavern area of 1,560 square feet. The outdoor courtyard could double this occupant load, and this leads to the conclusion that the location has no on-site parking and must rely exclusively on street parking. Parking for the surrounding residents, small businesses, and other downtown events will be negatively impacted, with only 21 on-street parking spaces on the block. As many as 156 parking spaces may be required for an event that is full house, utilizing both the interior and courtyard. Again, we believe it's a great idea, but wrong place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keith Poirier, followed by John Paul.
Hi, Keith Poirier, Poirier Group. We're the neighbor right across the street. We're on the corner of Lee and Garfield. We're at 300 Garfield Street. We made and I represent my employees. One's a male and the rest are females. We chose this place 3.5 years ago to operate our headquarters at. We have plans to expand our footprint, obviously get out of Lafayette, or expand out of Lafayette into 2 other states, in fact, and maintain our residents right here in the downtown area. We picked this spot because it was largely residential. It was quiet. It is across the street from the main stage, but that's a seasonal use, and it's typically after 5, except festivals, which obviously we accommodate when those festivals or big events show up. We think it's an awesome idea. We, obviously, being a commercial insurance agency, promote and are all for economic development, for new business growth, for thriving businesses. We ensure that. We serve as risk management, detail, and extensions of our customers who rely on us heavily to be a part of their growth plan. So we're all about that, and we think it's an awesome idea, just wrong spot. And the reasons for that are, I think it would negatively impact the area, just as was previously mentioned by Barry and the last speaker, in that when you got a plain line of sight from there to the bus station, and then on down to the thruway, there's a bunch of vagrant traffic right there already. There's a bunch of littering already from downtown events, from bar nightlife. There's already a parking problem, as just indicated. In fact, the previous owner or existing owner of Esprit de Cour actually approached us some time back, maybe a year ago or so, and asked us to use our parking lot as an overflow because there was not enough parking to accommodate their events. We chose not to because that would create something not in the best interest of our business. It would give us exposure that we just don't need. So, you know, with mention of those things, and then I want to mention, most important, our employees who love being downtown. Bunch of young ladies, very young, and here to stay a long time. They are mothers, they are wives, they are aunts, they are everything. Their safety when they leave our place after dark is a huge deal. We got a bar across the street, or a tavern, or a brewery, or whatever it is. I don't think that's healthy. You know, we out of daylight savings time, or we're in it, and it's 5:30, it's getting dark. Our people stay in our office sometimes till 7 o'clock because we got to work for our clients when they need. And when they leave our fence, and we spent a good deal of money refacing our property. We bought a pretty dilapidated place and fixed it up pretty nice because we want to be downtown and we want to be in this area, but it needs to be preserved the way it is. It's more residential. The bars are on Jefferson. We could have went there. We chose this spot. We bring a lot of revenue to this area by our vendors showing up and our clients who we bring to special events downtown quite often and who call on us quite a bit. we got to have a fairly quiet place to operate our business and do the things we do. If we can't do that, well, then we got to move. And if we move, well, then the revenue we're bringing in from our vendors and our clients obviously would cease, because we would have to be in a spot that is conducive for us doing that. You know, the building across the street, I don't know that it can be soundproofed or not, but I think some things need to be considered. You can't create parking. There is none. And we want to be there. Again, we support it. We think it's, we support the idea. We think it's a great idea. I think there's ample room in Lafayette Parish to put such a place. And I think it would be, you know, a decent business idea that could have some legs, just not where it's being proposed. So I myself, our employees, who again are these mothers whose family looks to them obviously to get home safely, and that needs to be highly considered. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Paul, followed by Jessica Paul.
Good evening, council members, Mr. Mayor. Before I begin, I would like to note that I have asked for a deferment of this motion to a later date, because we weren't going to plan on talking about this today. We'll plan on talking about it at a later date, the next meeting. But it was pulled this morning, and that doesn't really give a fair chance for all those parties involved to have an even discussion on this. You know, my name is John Paul. I apologize, I didn't say that earlier. I am one of the owners of Sawbriar. My wife Jessica is the other. We've been trying for a while to bring a microbrewery to the downtown Lafayette area because we think it's the right thing. We have a lot of supporters. They're not all here tonight, mainly due to a procedural change, but that's okay. Let me talk to you about Sawbriar a little bit. I have listened to Mr. Salinger, Mr. Poirier, Mr. Salinger's architect, about their concerns, and have tried to address each of them individually with mixed results. I hear a lot about parking. I understand there's concerns about parking, especially now since the lot that we entered into an agreement with Esprit de Corps to use is no longer available. That sudden change today, actually, that their lease was terminated by PTFA on that parking lot. And that's unfortunate. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to move forward with these folks. It is a great idea. It is a great idea. I think it's the right place. I think downtown needs this. You know, we're trying to expand a little bit of the cultural diversity in Lafayette. Downtown areas usually work really well with microbreweries. I'm not going to use the word bar. It's a zoning issue. They bring economic stimulus. People seek these things out. This is a tourism magnet internationally, not just nationally. I've got people from Belgium and Australia and England all wanting to come to Lafayette to see our brewery. But that's not going to happen if we can't get our doors open. And yeah, we could have looked at somewhere else. We could have been advised to do that, I suppose. We could have left another hole. And I apologize if I sound a little frustrated. It has been a frustrating process. We've been trying to be very open about what we're doing. We've had to try to toe the line, trying to make things go well. But it can't all be, well, let me back off that. I apologize. Speaking to these needs, let me just speak to these concerns. Trash. Well, we're not offering Go Cups. And we don't have the type of folks who come to a microbrewery and want to trash up the environment. And it's usually a little bit higher class clientele. It's not, I just turned 21 and I'm out to drink a case of Natural Light and, somebody dragged me home. That's not what we're doing. It's a handcrafted product. We take a lot of pride in it, and I serve it in a special glass. That glass doesn't go out on the street. It's against the ordinance. And, you know, I was in the Army for a while. I know how to pick up trash. I can run a police call. We're happy to organize neighborhood cleanups. Security, I'm not running a roadhouse, and I'm not going to allow rough folks to attend my premise. If they do, they won't be there long. They'll be escorted out. And though I do appreciate Mr. Poirier's concern for his female employees, I think they can probably handle themselves in most circumstances, as most women can. They're not the right place. I have a big problem with this. I keep saying it's a residential area. It's a mixed-use area. It's a central business district, which, by the way, doesn't really require parking. But aside from that, the 7 adjacent properties, only one of them is residential. The rest are business or parking lots. Garfield's pretty wide open on any given day, except for Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening. Lee, again, wide open. There's a parking garage two blocks away, and we can provide handicap spots on the premise. So I feel like we've been caught in a procedural issue here. Again, the desire was to extend our time so we could address this properly. But thank you for hearing me out now.
Jessica Paul. As she comes up, you all were provided with a list of citizens who called the council office today, 22 who called in to oppose the measure and 1 called in to support it.
Hello, my name is Jessica Paul. I'm a teacher in Lafayette Parish, so I'm used to addressing much shorter people. So, all of this is new. My husband and I went into this trying to support our family and to provide Lafayette with something we feel like it desperately needs. And we have been butting heads in every possible direction through this entire process. And I am reeling still from the animosity and what I felt was honestly an ambush brought towards us at the previous zoning meeting. We had absolutely no idea the concerns that were going to be brought in. We have continuously reached out to the people who have brought forth concerns. They will not speak to us. We cannot answer their questions. The assumptions, there are gross assumptions being made about the way we're going to do our business, and we can't correct them because we can't speak to anybody about it. People's minds have already been made up. The choices that were made are being made because people's minds have already been made up. I am furious at the way this has been handled. This is absolutely personal for us. I understand it's personal for them too. But we have tried very hard to reach common ground, to have some sort of discussion. A brewery, a microbrewery, is not a bar. The best description I can come up with is a coffee house for beer. It is a place where people sit and gather and visit. Meetings are held there. People can have interviews, visit with each other. It is a space for community. It is not a space for what one would consider a bar on Jefferson Street. There is a reason we did not consider Jefferson Street, because that is not what we want to be. That is not what we want to portray. We want to provide a space in the community for people to gather that also has beer. We are not looking to ruin anyone's neighborhood. That is the furthest thing from what we are trying to do. We are trying to make things better. We have traveled from coast to coast for years, researching beer, talking about beer, and seeing how other cities handle these things, and we chose to come back here and do this here because this is what Lafayette needs. These are some of the most amazing people in the world, and they already have such heart, and they already love to get together, and to be able to provide this space elevates the level of the city. I feel like we have become this unwitting poster child for bars, which is not what we intended to do. We've walked into this, and that's what's happened. I need y'all to look past what would be considered a bar on Jefferson Street. Look at what we are trying to do for the city. Look at what we want to do. Talk to us, ask us questions, please. We will be more than glad to answer them. But we have been hitting wall after wall with this, with no response. And I'm fed up. Thank you.
Hold on one second. Lewis?
No, I have a comment.
Okay, is there some other speakers?
I was getting a good comment on the live stream and how clear it is, the video and the audio. And that's from, and that's from council. You'll know it's the truth when it's from council member Bruce Kahn. So, oh yeah, so now it's the truth.
He's watching from a bike somewhere?
She was the final speaker.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, and then after that, Councilwoman Liz had notified me. She hit her button.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, that is the district that I represent, District 3, the downtown area. I remember when I first came on board as a councilman, there was a big push to lift the moratorium. I was kind of reluctant. And I remember reaching out to some of the constituents that live downtown and live elsewhere. And I remember, quite frankly, someone told me that this might be a pretty much sticky situation if we lift this moratorium. I asked a few questions. And I remember before we would lift the moratorium, we said there would be a committee that would figure out if someone wants to open a restaurant, a bar, or most likely sell alcohol, that they would make sure that this is the right location. And right now, I really don't think this is the right location. The lady just a few minutes ago said that what they want to bring to Lafayette. So a lot of things want to come to Lafayette, but it has to be the right location. I want you guys to be successful, but if you don't have the parking, how can you really be successful? Yes, people say you can walk, you can ride a bicycle. At this time of night, the cold, the wind, the weather, the parking is not there amongst other things. Security. Right now we have a problem with security. Then what's gonna happen? We're gonna scatter security all over the place. This area right there, in fact, I worked there for quite some time on Vermilion Street. I used to walk on Clinton, used to walk on Lee Street and Garfield Street. That is a quiet area of the downtown area. And I don't want to see it comes to an area where we're going to have a lot of people coming just because we're saying it's going to bring tax dollars to Lafayette. But what about the safety of the people that live there and the noise and the trash that they're picking up on Sundays after events? Yes, someone did say something about the festival and Mardi Gras, which is seasonal. Yes, I understand that. But if this is going to be every day, this is not right for the people that live downtown, that want to stay there. They have an opportunity to leave, but they want to stay there because they believe in downtown. And we as council members, it's not only District 3's council. A lot of you guys have constituents come downtown for Mardi Gras to eat, to buy things, and to visit. And I don't want to take that quality of life from the people that live downtown. I want to make sure that we have a diverse group of. Right now, we're trying to do something with the old federal courthouse. And what are we trying to bring? Residential and mixed use. But if we just keep bringing bars, liquor places, people are not going to want to come downtown. And as long as I'm representing 3, I'm supporting the constituent, the ones that live downtown. We have to pretty much put it to a halt. We don't want to say, this area can sell liquor, this area cannot. I mean, that's why I'm asking my fellow colleagues to just deny this applicant right now. The committee is not there. Thank you.
Councilwoman Liz? Hit your button. I got to turn your mic on. It's $5. Okay.
All right, thank you, Chairman. So this was brought to my attention. John Paul actually lives in my district, and that's kind of how I've gotten involved in this. And his wife, she lives there as well. Sorry. Well, we assume. But so they reached out to me, letting me know this is something they wanted to start. didn't pass the original BOZA, and
And
they
what-
had some
it didn't go to
concerns.
BOZA.
They wanted to work with, sorry, yes. And so I've been working alongside with them to try and fine tune their plan, because I get it, there are some holes in the plan that's on the application that maybe need to be finished to fill out, but they've never done this before. So they needed help with it. So that's something we've been working on. The reason why John Paul and his wife asked to defer was to work on it, to find a new location, to bring it back to us in order to get it passed. They want to work with these members, and that's why they asked for the deferment. Everyone here tonight said, it's a great idea, just not near me, or not in this area. We don't want it right here. And now that we're allowing these conditional use permits, we're going to see this more and more in your district, Councilman Lewis. And I do not want to continue to be in a situation where it's great downtown, it's a multi-use, there's bars, but just not on this street, on that street. And been working with DDA and their board to come up, I know they're working on a plan they're ready to release, and I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. That way, we as a council can see what their plan is, and the people who are applying for this can see what the downtown plan is. So that way, whenever they're selecting a location downtown, they know what's appropriate. And it's going to protect the residents as well, so that way they're protected as well. So I look forward to downtown releasing their plan to us. And I appreciate them also working with John Paul as well. But I realize you want to shut it down tonight, and I'm hesitant to do that because we have a husband and wife here who are wanting to start a business downtown. It's a dream of theirs. They're excited about it. Could it use some fine tuning? Absolutely, and they've admitted it themselves. And they've committed, as he said, to working with the DDA and their board to maybe even finding a better location and addressing some of those concerns. But if we shoot it down tonight, they're not going to get the chance to do that. So I would like for us to consider and honoring the deferment. Give it some time. How long? That's up to you. I respect you as councilman of this district. That's your district. But just to shoot it down tonight, even after he's requested the opportunity to make it right with these neighbors, I'm hesitant to shoot it down. But I want to offer him the ability to defer to find a solution to the problems. That's all I have, Chairman, for now.
So are you offering a motion to defer?
I want to leave that up to the chairman of the district. So it's not my district, so I want to lean to him. But this is just something I want him to know.
Okay. Councilman Lewis, you have the floor. Hit the mic.
Okay, thanks. By shutting it down right tonight doesn't mean he can't look for another location. That's just that particular location. He can look for another location anywhere else downtown. Is that just that particular area? He can look for a location anywhere in the city of Lafayette or downtown. It's just that location right there. So another 12 days or 14 days, it won't make a difference because we're not going to find parking. It won't make a difference. But he can go to another location, it might help. So again, he can find another location tomorrow. He can go anywhere in Lafayette Parish and find a location. It's just that one location now that we are talking about that he cannot open up. So that's what I'm getting at.
I'll take you in District 1. We're always looking for things. All right. Not seeing any other council discussion. At this time, we'll go ahead and call for the vote.
District 9,
Yeah. This is to a yes vote.
Yes vote approves the conditional use, or no vote denies?
No.
District 1,
No.
District 3,
No.
District 4,
No.
District 5,
No.
District 7,
No.
District 8.
No.
The motion to introduce fails.
Hold on one second. Legal, you're shaking your head. What happened?
This was simply introduction. It was a vote to introduce or not. It wasn't a vote on the substance of the conditional use. But it makes no difference. It's failed.
Do I need to clarify something?
No.
Okay. All right. All right, so it doesn't go forward. All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.